Commons committee will meet later this afternoon to discuss food price inflation, and the executives of grocery giants such as Metro and Save on Foods will face questions from MPs. But what do consumers have to say? For that, we've reached Ingrid Benedives in Port Coquitlam, BC. You have 4 children in your household. So Ingrid, welcome to the program. Let's get to this. What is it like for price increases for your family?
Well, it is very challenging. Like it's a daily type of struggle we're actually having. It's from shopping from one store and now shopping from 4 different stores, to be able to find the better prices, to cutting, like some regular food that we used to have, to, actually going to a friend farmer to get eggs and things like that. So yeah, it has been quite challenging to definitely make different changes to be able to deal a little bit with it.
So, when you see these rising food costs, you've mentioned some ways you change grocery shopping. Are there any tips that you could give other parents with 4 kids on how to find a good bargain maybe out there?
So something that we normally do is like when I buy something, like that is in regular in the shopping list and I see there's a sale for it, I buy like 3, of the same item. For example, if, like granola bars that we usually eat, like if I see they're on sale for like $4 less, I will at least buy 2 or 3. I know sometimes it's hard, but in the long run, it kind of makes more sense. So I kind of like, okay, so probably I won't take this today, eat something else, but I will take whatever is on sale to make it, like worth it.
One of the things we've been reporting is the annual grocery bill for a family of 4 is expected to rise more than $1,000 next year. What will that mean for your family?
So I was, I was actually seeing that, and for our family, I don't think, like if you see like, okay, for 4 it's 1,000, and then in your case, because you guys are only 6, so 2 more, you will think, okay, it's just gonna be a 1,500. I don't think that's actually gonna happen. Like I'm pretty sure it's gonna be at least 2,000 or even more. First of all, because 2 of those kids are teenagers, so they eat like there's not tomorrow. But second of all, because what I have noticed too is not just about prices, I raising, it's about the produce, like quality is not as same as before. It's not as fresh. So a lot of times, we actually pretty much like buy something and we have to kind of eat it right away. If not, it's gonna go bad. And then, we need to even buy more, food. So I don't, like I don't think that's actually even fair. $1,000 for a family of 4. I don't think that that would be actually accurate, to be honest. My bill, he has gone for groceries from 250 probably for 2 weeks now, pretty much to 500. So it has kind of pretty much doubled.
Wow. So, how do you now manage all your household bills with this doubling of grocery bills?
Uh, and that's the problem. It's not just the groceries, right? It's also the gas prices. It's also, like the power bill. It's also, like the gas for, like to be able to cook, like so yeah, it's definitely a challenge. A lot of things is um unfortunately not being able to save up as we, would normally do. And not being able to have as many activities as we used to have as a family. Like, for example, now for the holidays, I've not been able to go to shows or anything like that. It's more like, a little bit more, I stayed home type of thing, and then probably getting some crafts or watch movies more than, we're gonna go and look at this show of lights, because then that also implies eating out, again, and other things, right? So that's the other thing, not eating out as much, I'm trying to eat as much as we can at home and, from scratch, and cutting corners in the sense of like, instead of buying, before I used to get them, for example, granola bars, cookies, and something else. Now I'm just getting one of those things, I just the granola bars or just the cookies or just, I so kind of like making those, I compromises to be able to afford, I at least basic. I people probably might say, well, granola bar is not a basic thing. Well, when you have kids, you cannot definitely just give them, their normal lunch and, like fruit and stuff like that because they're always hungry. So you need to find ways to make sure, like they're eating healthy, but at the same time, like they're hungry every 5 minutes. Like, I'm like, are you sure you're hungry? Well, what's going on? You just ate. And they're like, yeah, I'm still hungry. So
Those
yeah.
teenagers are the hungry ones, constantly in the fridge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
What would you, if you had the chance to say something to these large grocers and they're going to be appearing before a parliamentary committee today, what would your message be?
Well, that's pretty much, what my concern is that I do see probably prices are, raising for them too, I probably the farmers and things like that. But at the same time, my concern is like, even if a price, like it's, raised like 50 cents, their problem is they're actually raising that 50 cents to instead of being, like 50 cents to $1, they're actually doing it to $5. And that's what they're passing to the consumers. So it is very, concerning that, okay, you're seeing a raise, but you're not actually passing that to the consumer, that actual raise. You're actually raising it to five, $5, $6 for the product. And when the price goes down, it never goes down to us. It always stays the same. So their margin, instead of being just like 450, ended up being like more than that because they're not getting charged anymore for that, like racing costs. So it's just, it's just um nobody should actually struggle to buy their basic necessities, that in this case is actually food. Like, no mom should actually struggle to be able to get milk for their kids, and not seniors should be actually being thinking about, what am I going to buy today? Am I going to buy my medicines, or I'm going to be able to actually afford, my eggs for the morning?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really good message to end on. Ingrid, thank you for your time and sharing your story today.
Thank you so much.
Ingrid Benavides is a mother of four, and we reached her in Port Coquitlam.